Warning: the following video contains information about the murder and actions of a heinous and depraved individual. Viewer discretion is advised.
The sick freak obliterated the whole family, 3 generations while they were sleeping, by bludgeoning them all to death with a hammer. Hello true crime fans and welcome to Behind the Yellow Tape. Picture a quiet, affluent suburban street in Sydney, Australia. It's the kind of place where neighbours know each other's cars and kids ride bikes on the footpath. But the most chilling aspect of this case wasn't just the horrific violence inside that North Epping home. It was the fact that the monster responsible was the one standing outside the next morning crying the loudest. This is a story of the Lynn family massacre. So on this street there lived a hard-working family, a newsagent owner, his wife, their 2 young boys and an aunt. They all go to sleep on a chilly Saturday night in July 2009. By Sunday morning, 5 people are dead in what seasoned detectives would describe as the most brutal crime scene they had ever encountered. Min Lin and his wife Lily were beloved in their community. They run a successful newsagents working tirelessly to provide for their sons, 12-year-old Henry and 9-year-old Terry. Lily's sister Irene also lived with them. On the night of the 18th of July, someone entered their home with a blunt object. It was a hammer attached to a rope. The attack was frenzied. All 5 victims were bludgeoned in their beds. There was blood, brain and skull everywhere. The violence was so extreme, so personal, that police immediately suspected this wasn't a random robbery gone wrong. This was a complete annihilation. Miraculously, there was one survivor. 15-year-old Brenda Lynn was away on a school trip. She returned to an unimaginable nightmare, an orphan overnight. Naturally, she was taken in by her closest relatives, her Aunt Kathy and Kathy's husband, Robert Z. And this is where the story turns sickening. Robert Z, the man who had hysterically discovered the bodies, the man comforting the traumatised teenage survivor, was hiding in a darkness few could comprehend. Investigators began peeling back the layers of Z's life. They found a man consumed by deep-seated jealousy of the Lynn family's financial success, which he felt highlighted his own failures. Even more disturbingly, evidence pointed to Z having a twisted sexual obsession with his young niece Brenda. Sick freak. The case against him was complex and circumstantial. It relied on a bloody footprint left at the scene, a trainer that matched Z's size and a specific walking gait, and tiny traces of victims' DNA found in Z's garage. Police believe Z sedated his own wife that night so he could sneak out and commit the massacre undetected. It took an agonising 8 years and 4 separate trials before justice was served. In 2017, Robert Z was finally found guilty of 5 counts of murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He had slaughtered 3 generations of his own family out of spite and depravity, hiding in plain sight as the grieving uncle. Thank you for listening today, and remember, stay behind the yellow tape.